19 contracts. We're going to put 19 right here, and I can make another $303. And then I could change my bid to ask to max it out at the 18. I can make $341. This is in 1 day. Alright, so what's going on with y'all? It's O'Neal from Tap to O'Neal. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I use AI to assist in my options trade, and how I use it to, understand what type of trades I'm going to be making, just in general, how to use AI. So the trade, you guys know in my portfolio. If you don't know and you're new, I have a position on Tsll. I've been trading options on Tsll, which is a leveraged ETF that tracks Tesla. Every way that Tesla moves, this moves twice as much because it's a leveraged position. So this is my position, right? I have 1,508 shares. My market value is at 17,000. My average cost is at 13.68, and I'm down about 14%, which is nearly to $3,000, $2,989 to be exact, right? So what I have been doing and what I've been trying to do, because this is being purchased on margin. This trade is being purchased on margin, right? So with me having this trade on margin, I'm actually trying to get out of it by selling an options trade that would, for the target price that is obviously higher than my average cost. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. My Tsll, I have a Tsll call, $14 call to be exact, right? This is the $14 call. I want to sell it back. I want to sell those 1,500 shares, which is 15 contracts for 14 at the $14 strike price. See, my total return is up $300. I made $315 off this trade, which is right here, as you guys can see, $315 off this trade by selling this call. Now, this is probably going to expire worthless because I'm not sure if it will hit. Today's the last day in the market. Today is Thursday, and tomorrow is July 4th. So the market's going to be closing. The market closes a little bit earlier today at 1 o'clock. Markets haven't opened up just yet, but I've made $315 off this one call, and it will probably expire worthless. If I was to close this trade out right now, I can give back some of my profits, which would be about $15, and then I could just walk away with the $300. You guys are seeing the $300+ return. That's what that pretty much means. And then I also made a trade or sold a put at $11.5 strike price. Now, this put has been in the money, in and out of the money throughout the week. Think about yesterday, it went out of the money. You got some nice pump up from Tesla, and so it's been performing pretty well. I made $148 off this put trade. Now, if it was to expire in the money and I was to get assigned these shares, I have 4 contracts, which would be an additional 400 shares of Tsll. I wanted to know what my new average cost would be. So this is where I used AI. This is why I got my second phone up, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like on AI. So remember how I showed you my position on Tsll. So I asked AI, I have 1,508 shares of Tsll at an average cost of 13.68. If I purchase 400 shares at a $11.5 strike price, what will my new average cost be? So it spits out this formula, right? It spits out this formula. I'm really good at memorizing formulas, especially when it comes to this money. I catch on quick, and I learn very quickly when it comes to money. So it pretty much took the question that I had. It said my initial investment value is at 1,508. It's taking that as money, but it converted it to shares, and then times that by the $13.8 strike price, which is my average cost, and it would give me about $20,629.44, right? So that is pretty much would be my market value. It doesn't reflect that, as you guys can see, my market value. So that number was a little bit off. So as I was watching this back, I did realize that that $20,000 number, 20,629 and 44 cents to be exact, was actually an accurate number. You just gotta add up my market value and the total return, which is the negative. You turn that into positive, add that to my market value, and that's gonna give you that $20,000. But it would say my new investment value, which would be the 400 additional shares, right? Which it's saying that's $400. It converted it to shares, and then it converts the $11.5 strike price, and then it gives me the 4,600 value. That's how much money I'm utilizing to leverage this position, and you're gonna see that reflected in the options collateral. You guys see how that number matches up. I have $4,600 being utilized in options collateral to create this trade, which would mean that that's how much money I will put into this trade if it gets executed. So we'll go back to the $11.5 put, right? And then it shows my shares, and then my shares will increase from 1508 to 1908. And then it adds up all these numbers, and then my new amount of money that I will have invested within Tsll is about 25,000, which is kind of reflective to the margin total. I have been purchasing other things on margin, so it's not too accurate, but you see the margin used, that's a large portion. So that $20,000, that's how much I'm using in margin for Tsll with the additional options collateral if it gets assigned. I'm only getting charged interest on the 21,000. Options collateral isn't assigned, so I'm not getting charged any interest on it. So my new average cost would be 13.22, and my amount of shares will be increased to 1908. So this is one way that you can use AI, and this is what I've been using just AI for, just to see what my new average cost would be if I was to get assigned. Now this new average cost is really good, and the reason why I say it's really good because it helps me average down into the stock, bring my average cost down, right? Let me stop this. So it will help me bring my average cost down, which would make me be able to trade options closer to the money. So instead of selling a $14 call, I can now go to July 11th and sell a $13.5 call and get rid of the shares even easier. So it's helping me average down, even though I'm going to be put more in margin, but I can get rid of the shares a lot faster because Tsll I should say, is more likely to hit the $13.5 within a week rather than the $14 strike price. So I'll show you guys a estimate of how much I will make. It says I will have about 1908 shares, so that would be 19 contracts. We're going to put 19 right here, and I can make another $303, and then I could change my bid to ask to max it out at the 18. I can make $341. This is in one day, or within 1 week, I should say. And that's just additional money. So that's how I make money on options trading. And this also helps cover all the money that I'm being charged in interest from margin. So I'm going to show you guys my total amount that I'm getting charged in interest for margin at the end of the month, because it calculates it monthly and it charges you monthly, and nothing gets charged to my account. This is an all cash in account. Everything gets charged directly to my bank account, so I handle the fees and everything. So you'll never see that, but I'll show you guys exactly how much they charge me to my bank account. But even this is helping my portfolio grow, because the credits or the premiums that I'm getting paid out for you guys, if you guys are using the premiums to cover the margin, this will absolutely cover all of the margin interest in addition to growing your portfolio. So yeah, this is just a little way that I use AI to build my portfolio, run certain scenarios. And you guys should, if you guys aren't using AI, you should definitely be using AI. It's a very powerful and useful tool. I personally use Gemini. If you can use ChatGPT, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. I just have a preference for Gemini. But yeah, if this was helpful or useful in any way, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, turn on post bell notifications, leave a comment for feedback. If you got anything you want to add, if you guys want to get in direct contact with me, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram. If you want to talk to like-minded individuals or get updates throughout the week from me personally, go ahead and join on Discord. That is free to join. And go ahead and follow me on TikTok. Yeah, but without further ado, it's Tapped On, and I'm signing out.